What if the last person you trusted was the one rewriting the night you vanished? Hannah's hands tying a red ribbon on a gift box. 8:14 p.m. Last seen alive. Hannah Mercer should have been safe in her own living room, surrounded by wrapping paper and soft Christmas lights. But the camera on her phone caught something her family can't unsee. Her smile fading for a split second, like someone else had just stepped into the room. By sunrise, she was gone. Missing, 8 months pregnant. Her sister, Megan, is the first to notice the silence. Hannah never goes more than an hour without texting back, especially this close to her due date. But that morning, her phone stays dark. So does her house. Detective Lila Rowan arrives to find the living room exactly the way Hannah left it. Gifts half-wrapped, scissors on the floor, a mug still warm. Nothing looks forced. Nothing looks broken. Everything looks paused. And then Mike Mercer walks in. His voice shakes. His timelines shift. And every answer he gives feels like it comes with a new version of the truth. Main suspect. When Lila asks him what time he last saw his wife, he gives 3 different hours, all within the same conversation. Megan's eyes lock on his. She feels it, that quiet tremor behind his words. Because Hannah was the kind of woman who always finished what she started. And she would never leave those gifts unfinished. So the question becomes, if she didn't walk out, who did she leave the house with? But one detail didn't add up. A single spot on the carpet, barely visible, tells Detective Rowan that Hannah's final moments in this room weren't as gentle as they looked, and that someone inside this home knows more than they're saying. If Hannah never walked out, then why was her front door unlocked from the inside? Close-up of the doorknob. Unlocked. 6:52 a.m. Detective Lila Rowan tests the lock again. It isn't broken. It isn't damaged. It was simply left open, the kind of mistake Hannah never made. Sean Tully, the neighbor, steps onto his porch when he sees the patrol cars. He hesitates before speaking. I heard something around midnight. Not loud, just wrong. Witness statement. He describes a short, sharp sound, like someone dropping something heavy, then absolute silence. Lila writes it down, but her eyes drift back to the living room. The half-wrapped gifts, the untouched mug, the quiet that feels staged. Then Mike appears behind her again, wringing his hands. When I woke up, she was gone, he mutters. But he doesn't meet her eyes. And when she asks him what she was wrapping last, he changes the answer twice. Timeline cracks. Alyssa Monroe, Hannah's best friend, rushes in minutes later. Her face collapses when she sees the half-finished gifts. Hannah wouldn't leave these, she whispers. She was excited. She even sent me a picture last night. She scrolls, stops, and her breath catches. The picture's background shows a shadow, standing behind Hannah, a shadow that wasn't hers. But the shadow matched someone in the house. Could the person you trust most hide the truth in plain sight? Hannah's red ribbon lying on the floor. Gift interrupted. 12:03 a.m. Detective Lila Rowan studies the photo Alyssa found. The shadow looms just behind Hannah, tall, familiar. Her gut tells her it's someone from the house. Mike Mercer insists he was asleep the whole night. But Marcus Bell, his coworker, already noticed something strange when Mike clocked in that morning. A stain on his shirt, wiped too quickly to be innocent. Suspicious behavior. Megan Porter remembers a fleeting sound, a whisper, almost inaudible, coming from Hannah's room before she went to bed. She laughed, then froze. Megan says, voice shaking, like she saw someone she shouldn't have. And that someone might still be in the house. Alyssa scrolls back through Hannah's messages. One text stands out, unfinished. If anything happens to me. But it cuts off mid-sentence. Detective Rowan's eyes narrow. Some pieces of the puzzle are still hidden, and the clock is ticking. What would you do if the last words you heard were a lie? Close-up of Hannah's half-wrapped gifts on the table. Clues left behind. Detective Lila Rowan walks slowly around the living room, noticing small details. The scissors slightly askew. A ribbon cut shorter than usual. Nothing violent, but everything off. Mike Mercer fidgets in the corner. His eyes dart to the gifts, then away. Every explanation he gives shifts just slightly, enough to set off alarms. Husband's timeline shifts. Alyssa points out a detail no one had seen. The video Hannah recorded last night, the one she sent to her friend, shows a reflection in the window. A figure standing too close. Watching. Reflection in window. Megan Porter shivers as she notices it. The reflection looks like Mike, but the angle doesn't make sense. He couldn't have been behind her when she recorded. Someone's story isn't lining up. But who? Detective Rowan tightens her notebook. The truth is closer than anyone suspects, and it's hidden in plain sight. How far would someone go to hide the truth from the world? Hannah's phone face down on the couch. Missed calls, 3:12 a.m. Detective Lila Rowan picks up the phone. No new messages. No outgoing calls. But one notification flashes. A draft text. Unsent. I can't. I think he's... And it stops. Abruptly. Draft message. Interrupted. Mike Mercer swallows hard. His timeline is unraveling faster than he can adjust it. Megan Porter notices the tremor in his hands. Something isn't adding up. Alyssa Monroe remembers another detail from the night before. Hannah mentioned seeing someone outside her window. A fleeting shadow she didn't recognize. She joked it was just a neighbor. But now the joke feels hollow. Outside shadow witnessed. Detective Rowan frowns. Everything in the house suggests Hannah never left willingly. Someone made sure of that. And that someone might still be hiding the smallest, crucial clue in plain sight. And it's a clue only Hannah noticed. What if the person closest to you was the one rewriting your reality? Hannah's empty chair at the kitchen table. Morning silence, 7:05 a.m. Detective Lila Rowan kneels beside the chair, noticing a faint smudge of red ribbon on the edge. Not blood, but a sign someone had been rushing, careless. The half-finished gifts suddenly feel like a message. Interrupted, abandoned, watched. Clue left behind. Mike Mercer shifts in the doorway. He insists he was asleep all night, yet a faint trace of dust on his shoes suggests he was up, moving around, somewhere Hannah couldn't see. Megan Porter's eyes widen when she remembers the sound from earlier. A soft thud, too quiet to be noticed at first, followed by silence. A detail Hannah would have never ignored. Thud at midnight. Alyssa Monroe scrolls through Hannah's saved photos one more time. A corner of the living room in the last snapshot seems different. The placement of a gift. A shadow on the wall. Something only someone inside the house would notice. Detective Rowan exhales slowly. The pieces are tightening around someone in the room that night. And the truth, terrifying, personal, real, is almost within reach. But one person's memory refuses to match the evidence. How do you confront a truth someone tried to erase? Detective Lila Rowan holding Hannah's phone. The last clue, 9:17 a.m. The draft message flashes again. I can't. I think he's... It ends abruptly, but the words are enough. Detective Rowan realizes Hannah tried to warn someone, and she left the evidence where only a careful eye would notice. Hannah's warning. Mike Mercer falters under questioning. The inconsistencies, the shadows, the tiny traces of movement in the house. They all point to him. His composure cracks. Megan Porter, Alyssa Monroe, and Marcus Bell watch as the truth emerges. Mike had staged the scene, hoping no one would notice the subtle signs Hannah left behind. But those small details, her unfinished gifts, the red ribbon, the unsent text, speak louder than his lies ever could. Suspect confessed. Detective Rowan closes the case. Hannah's bravery in leaving clues ensures justice is served. Mike Mercer is arrested. Charges are filed. The community breathes again, knowing her story will not be forgotten. Hannah's gifts neatly stacked, a silent tribute. Justice for Hannah. Her family mourns, but they also remember her courage. The subtle ways she fought back, even in her final hours. And justice, though delayed, arrives because she never stopped leaving clues. Subscribe to the Veil of Secret for more stories where truth finds its way.